and she has just knocked me out. Now I'm waking up. When I woke up, I was laying on the said a whole lot of wrong just now almost. I was laying on the sofa.
Where am I?
My head was killing me, and my memory was foggy. I felt a sudden pain in my neck. That's where the medicine came in. And it went down, but without sugar. I shut up. Shut up. I shot up. Shot up. Shut up. That's a difficult sentence. I shot up, rubbing my neck. When I looked over the counter, I saw a monster staring back at me. Okay, no need to be mean at Mama. It took me a few seconds before I realized it was just Mama.
It looks like you're awake now.
As Mama spoke to me, it all came rushing back. I remembered everything. But what is the use? Are they gonna get Mizuki? Is that what's gonna happen soon? They better not have killed Mizuki. Mama, what do you know?
I tried. You wouldn't budge. I thought you were passed out drunk, so I left you like that.
But I didn't have a glass in front of me, right?
So you weren't drunk?
Didn't have a single drop.
Oh, I thought you were drinking straight out of the bottle. Just like the old days.
What time is it?
It'll be 3 o'clock soon. In the morning, of course.
What? Where's Oda?
Ota? The boy I asked to watch the bar?
I'd say he's too old to be called a boy, but yeah.
He was already gone when I came back. All I saw was you getting your beauty sleep on the floor.
Damn it, Ota. What are you thinking?
It appears that he took off with Iris.
What were you doing during all this?
My power was shut down due to the stun gun. I have rebooted in safe mode and am now operational.
Oh jeez. This is a whole mess. They're so suspicious.
Date, the boss is calling.
How am I gonna report this one?
Date, listen. Stay calm, but this is an emergency.
Uh-oh. What have they done to Mizuki?
Just now, the killer... Well, just watch the video. I sent the address to Iba.
Whoa. Wait, what?
Iris.
What? I thought she would... Wait. No, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
No, that's...
The criminal is streaming this live.
Iba, this...
Identified. The Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Code...
Okiura?
Date, focus. We need to get to the site.
What do you mean? This is a very important clue. Okiura. I thanked Mama and ran out of marble. No, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It has to be.
What's our ETA?
Our destination is far from here. 20 minutes at the fastest.
Please, please let me...
I think it's fake. It's not her. Her eye is not really gone. It's just makeup.
Sick bastard.
Wait, what the? Eh, Kuma. Why does that 5? Eh. That has to be Oda. This is just done on purpose. But why? They want to expose Date, I think.
Tessa! Hold on! I'll save you!
Ota?
Stay away from Tessa! Ah!
Yeah, it's false. It's false. It's him. Okay, but why? So they wanna expose Date for being the first Cyclops killer. Okay, that much makes sense to me. I kept my foot on the gas the whole time. I could feel my sweat on my palms. The engine raced in a high-pitched scream, but I could barely hear it. My heartbeat was pounding in my ears, shaking me to the core. How much time has passed? The feeling of time itself had disappeared. Eventually, the car reached the long bridge. Shortly after, the image changed. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading today. When do I not? But I have a bit slurring problems today. I drank a medicine earlier. It had a bit of alcohol in it. I think it's like affecting me a little bit.
Can't be.
Wait, it's turning on again? It's a loop.
Stop!
No, it's a loop. They're not there anymore. It's a loop. Oh. No, wait. He's holding it.
No!
What? We still have to go.
No!
Still have to go. Oda's still in trouble. If it's real. Because it's speculation that Oda is the one still doing it. It's still speculation that that body was fake. It wasn't reacting. It could have been a double. There's enough like what's it called? Technology in this world. Sorry. And since she's an idol, it's kind of like normal for there to be either a body double or a fake body that kind of like looks like her. I don't think it's her. It doesn't make sense to me. Wait. This makes even less sense. It's Oda.
Ota.
What the heck is going on? What the Zero Escape kind of shenanigans are these? This makes no sense. So Tessa is fine? How is that image remade? Okay, so it's fake. But why does Oda have to die? It doesn't make sense. Why is Tessa doing this? Oh. He's on that side of the table. He's being interrogated.
There you are. Finally. I was looking all over for you.
Oh, he wasn't. I think.
It's rare to see you down like this, but it's
Is it?
understandable. You blame yourself for this, don't you?
Yeah, happy-go-lucky kind of guy.
Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble, and about
Yeah.
letting Ota get the upper hand on you. Am I right? Shall I tell you what investigation
Oh yeah, he was
HQ
struck
thinks?
by he was stun gunned. I thought it was like with the medicine. Sorry.
Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide.
That's what I thought. Right? He's doing this for Tessa. Committed murder-suicide. Wait, she's there? Wait, is she dead as well?
Ota had a selfish love for Iris. He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too. But Iris refused Ota. So Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife, killed her, then killed himself.
Wait, that was real? Oh fuck, this is a Zero Escape game. This is a bad end. Oh, I thought it was fake. I forgot that this is a Zero Escape game. Deaths happen in this game. Oh shit. Of course.
That's ridiculous. Ota would never kill Iris. And how do you explain the other two murders?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Iris's left eye was hollowed out. Just like Renju and Shoko. Those three murders were definitely executed by the same person.
That makes sense.
The new Cyclops killer. There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit.
True.
Too many contradictions, like killing Iris.
Such as?
Yeah, I'm being interrogated. That's what this is. Yeah. Okay, well. Looks like it's my turn to answer to everything. Oda had no incentive to kill Renju. What about the polar bear costume? That doesn't make sense. Oda's behavior during the video. No, that makes sense.
Maybe he was thinking like this. The reason Iris and I can't be together is because her agency prohibits it.
It doesn't make sense. Because her dream is to be like an idol, right? So why would he mess with her dream? Because technically, isn't that his dream as well? As a fan of the idol?
Making the president, Renju, the ultimate bad guy in his mind.
I think that's a bit... I mean, it makes sense in a normie way, but I don't think it makes sense in a fan way.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
That's not the only thing. That's not a good argument back. I'll give her that. Yeah, that means that Shoko was no reason for
Shoko
it.
was married to Renju.
No, but it doesn't mean anything.
Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing her.
No.
That's a stretch.
Very much a stretch.
They've been divorced for years. Ota
Yeah.
knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko to get to Renju. The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity. But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, exactly.
Stay away from Tessa!
It could have still been him, though.
Ota showed himself on the stream. If he was going to kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that? The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit. Ota and the polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person.
Yeah, so he wants to be alive then afterwards.
That behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was going to commit suicide anyway.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first.
At first. But then someone intervened. That's what I'm thinking.
After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
If they are really dead, then that's my
So he
thinking.
lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice cutting machine himself?
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
There's some additional discrepancies. I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
Are you sure?
I am.
Wait. Should you have told her? She's definitely pressing you for something.
Oh, I know that.
Well?
Ota could have stabbed himself. Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but when it didn't work, he went for the ice cutting machine.
Then, shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
Yeah.
Maybe he threw it in the ocean.
Boss, come on. Ota goes out to the water, stabs himself in the gut, throws the knife over the side, then walks back to the warehouse?
Well, I wasn't being serious.
Then what
I
are you
didn't think
doing?
Ota was the culprit from the beginning. I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
Really?
Yes, really.
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself. Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota knew Iris was kidnapped, so he rushed onto the scene.
Hold on. Before that, if you noticed her, I think she was moving there. But I think in the second shot, she wasn't moving. Like, she's moving as in to breathe. I don't think she was moving to breathe on the second shot where she was killed.
That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood. The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice cutting machine, and then...
Then, who is the culprit?
I wish I knew.
We're up to 4 victims, but Ota was a special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Yeah, he happened to be there.
Right. And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
So let's focus on the 3 other victims. Shoko, Renju, and Iris.
Right.
What connects these 3?
Mizuki?
Connections.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit.
Oh,
That's the theory of investigation, right?
You're gonna make me present evidence.
You think the new Cyclops killer is related to them some?
Maybe, maybe not.
It is. Let's do it. Mizuki.
Mizuki has the strongest connections with all 3 victims.
Yeah.
Shoko and Renju were her parents. And she was good friends with Ota too. But that's why I could never believe Mizuki would kill all 4 of them.
No, but she's the
Thinking
connection.
of her as a suspect is ridiculous.
That's not what I'm saying. She's the connection, you idiot. Okay. The only one I can only think of is Hitomi, because I was also thinking about her since maybe she is... Oh. Hold on. Wait. Oh, that's a stretch. They need to explain this one to me.
Hitomi and Renju are definitely linked. They were high school classmates, and she did say that she met Shoko twice. But I can't imagine she would kill Iris, no matter what the circumstances were.
True. To be fair. Yeah, you're right. But what? Why would Oda's mother me? Oh, a kitchen. Wait, why would she kill her son? No. Kumakura? Wait. Mama Kumakura? Kuma means bear. Wait, why would mom... Oh, Moma! Moma Kumakura. With Iris? Oh, they did have a connection. Right? Did they? With Iris?
Renju and Shoko were connected to the... But there's no connection to...
That's what I'm saying. Oh, the congressman. Oh, that's a stretch. The mother makes no sense. She wouldn't kill Oda.
Renju, Shoko, and So. There is a connection between Renju and Shoko through... But again, I can't see...
That's the only connection I can see.
I know Renju and Shoko, and I'm connected to Iris, but I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed... No. Now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing, but I still have my memory of recent events. And if I start doubting myself...
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is zero possibility you are the new Cyclops killer.
Okay.
I have been working with you for years. I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
Okay. It's good that we kept that in mind. We have now exhausted all other thoughts. Mayumi cannot be it, right? I mean, she harbors...
Mayumi had motive for killing Iris and Renju. Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemniscate either. And since Renju is the president... Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko.
And Oda.
And above all else, she would never harm her only son, let alone kill him.
Yeah. Don't we have enough...
I thought it over, boss. Of the people I know, I can't peg any of them as the murderer.
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the cult, to get justice for the victim.
You're right.
Yeah, this
Got
is a
it, boss.
motivational speech. Okay, we gotta do this. Something's going on. I think it really depends on where I choose right now, because it does seem that affects things. Think, but it didn't really reflect in the flowchart. God, some of these not good to go. Mizuki basically is losing everything she loved. The cold storage warehouse, marble. Okay, so cold storage warehouse is the best place we can be. The murder case, the murder scene. We need more information. Okay, I don't care. It's cold. That's basically what they're talking about, and he's feeling warm. Nothing in it. I'm kind of like shaken up about this, because this is terrible.
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
Doing his duty as usual. Any clues?
No, nothing so far.
Where's Kagami? So the hook. The hook was also in her dream.
A video camera, and this is what the criminal... All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner.
Eh?
However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it.
Damn it.
I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know.
Of course.
Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju.
What?
The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father. And it was
Okay.
instead given to other persons.
That's a very strange fact.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
What's this about? Is the location supposed to be a message to someone?
This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
It seems like it's frozen over. Yeah. Well, same thing. Wooden box on the shelf, it's empty.
There are
Else.
only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
I guess it's not, huh? Don't see any clues here. Kinda ticking off the checklist, you know. Bloodstain. Irises and Ota blood. So they really did die. Damn it. Could have prevented their deaths? That's crazy. I could have.
Right here. Iris and Ota were.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
And the cause of death.
Right. About that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that. I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Maybe Oda was trying to help Iris jumping at the criminal. That led to a scuffle, and Oda ended up with a knife wound in his side. He lost all his power to fight back. He is forcibly put inside the costume and finally cut open by the ice cutting machine.
But why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown.
No, 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 no. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still of the mindset that Iris is alive. Iris tricked him. That body, that's probably a body double. But I should have been telling me this by now. But what's going on for real? Oh my god, I'm so shaken up about this. Iris and Ota were sliced in two by this ice cutting machine.
Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed.
But again, look at... she was not moving there. She didn't breathe. Either she was already dead or that's not real. See? There is no movement there. But in the previous scene, she was. So this is a fake body. Or a dead body.
The video was not a recording. It was a live stream, filmed in real time.
That's fine, but it can still be faked.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
I don't accept that.
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered.
Still don't accept that.
Date, we should get moving.
What?
Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
Oops, sorry.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
CSI?
All right.
Wow! Okay, well, okay. That was more like a kiddie version of that. Let's move out. Oh, door. What? Door. What? Hey. Oh, Inspector, I'm heading out. Let me know if you find anything. I'll let them know. When I let them know, then left the warehouse. Sorry, I thought he said it to them again. That's a weird way. He never said something in his thoughts like that. That's weird. When I left the warehouse, I saw Piotr. What is he doing here? He walked up to me while I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Okay, it was me. I know this.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date.
Finally. Okay, now I'm with ya. Tell me everything I need to know about me, and then we know what happened to these cases. I am agreeing with you, sir. Give me it.
I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice.
I agree. Let's do
So,
this.
if I can help you, even a little.
Yes?
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So I decided to meet you here.
I don't like how you're smiling through this, though. Could you not do that?
All right. Let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Because it's me.
I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
Because you know him. It's not me. It's me.
Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer. Although, it's more accurate to say, killers.
Oh. Wait, what?
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice.
Iris.
One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras.
Okay. You just blew my mind. Boom. So Kumakura has still some relation to this. Kumakura is... the Rohan Kumakura is not the psychopath. So Date is the psychopath. And he knew Rohan? Oh, that's why he had the flashback. Like, not really a flashback. It hit a nerve or something in his mind. That's why he like boom boom when he heard the name Rohan Kumakura. And he also knew that
had a
from
role
his
to
own
play.
memory.
The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
Oh. Why is Rohan not considered a psychopath? But okay, continue your story, please. Oh. Okay, warehouse. Barrier. Hologram barrier. Hey, there's some policemen there. We're not turn with those. Something we can see here? Okay, let's leave that be. Talk to little man over here. Okay, about Rohan.
18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes.
Ugh. Okay,
Their
got
beauty
it.
stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them.
Okay. Let's move on.
He needed to have them.
Okay.
To make them his own.
Okay.
Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge.
I guess so.
His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years.
Until a serial killer came in.
However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye.
I guess since Rohan has an obsession, but not to the point where he would commit murder every time, he is not the... Okay, I guess I kind of get it.
Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings. At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
Oh! Wait, what? But it was me, right? I'm the killer. What?
That... I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value. I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you.
Interesting, so we don't know why. Who is the murderous psychopath?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Okay.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust.
So he would go in a roundabout way to get those hormones, and that would be by committing murder. Interesting.
It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone.
I got that
It causes
part.
a tranquilizing effect, which improves. It
I
is normally
guess.
secreted when the body makes contact with
Okay,
an
got
object.
it.
I'm sure you know what this implies. He was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means.
Yeah, that's what
Due
I
to
meant.
the unique idiosyncrasies
Oh
of
my
his
God.
brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and
He's technically a
performing
victim.
certain action.
Of his own brain. Oh, jeez.
What was it?
Murder.
Yeah, we know this.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine.
Dopamine.
Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure. He was 12 when he took his first life.
Oh.
That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
Here we go.
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice,
There were two Cyclops killers.
and one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
Now that you mentioned that part. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Was he so distraught from what happened 6 years ago? that he couldn't take it anymore, couldn't find anything in his life that meant anything, so he just committed suicide? I don't think that's what it is.
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. But that means one remains. Who is he?
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name. He is simply called Number 89.
Oh. It's not Date. What the heck?
Number 89.
I think there's more to this. Something is still wrong. But okay, let's continue.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
Definitely the main... That's definitely the same voice actor, right?
So, now you know why I said that the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars. Neither of them had the opportunity.
Okay, we need to move. Wait, why do we need to move? Is that it? Based on everything we just got. We need to go to Sagan residence. We saw Hitomi die. Iris's mother. In her dream. Yet, it's not her that died. It's Iris that died. So, what's going on? When I visited the Sagan household, I found Hitomi with a hollow look in her eyes. She let me in and asked me to sit on the sofa. I agreed and sat down. But after that, I couldn't say a single word. Heavy silence weighed on both of us. There's a drawing on the wall. Need more information about that, Hitomi.
In the language of flowers, the iris means good news and hope. When I saw the flowers this morning, I just knew something good would happen.
This wasn't the good that she mentioned.
Iris.
Listen, Hitomi. It pains me. But we're going to have to talk about this. Okay? Can you be strong for me? Can you muster up any courage in yourself to talk to me?
Hitomi, my entire focus is on this case. Is there anything at all you can tell me?
I don't know if this is important, but...
No, please, tell me.
I may have told you this already. I met Renju's wife Shoko twice before. The first time at the wedding, the second time a month ago. That second time...
A month ago?
Was in the waiting room of the prison.
Wait, what? Wait, you know 89? Wait! That's 89? Wait, then why do I have memories of 89? Wait. Wait a minute. Am I? Wait. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay, that's too much. Okay, no. My imagination is going wild. We shouldn't do that.
Prison?
There's an acquaintance of mine from when we were young. I visit them a few times a year. And by coincidence, I saw Shoko. I don't think she noticed me, but I recognized her as Renju's wife right away. She was there for the same reason I was. To visit one of the inmates.
Do you know who?
No, I don't. We didn't talk.
Which prison?
Fuchu Prison. In Tokyo.
Fuchu.
Prison?
So, okay, so 89 is not him. But she is meeting someone in prison. But she's not talking about the same guy. She's talking about that Shoko is meeting with someone who happens to be in the same prison. Okay, that makes sense. Have you met Ota before?
Oda was one of my students.
Oh! Oh, okay. Did I know this before? Oh no! Everyone is
I taught him in
linked.
elementary school.
Oh
I
no.
heard from the police. Oda tried to help Iris and ended up... I don't know what to say. I have no words.
That's terrible. Oda.
Iris was my everything. We always went everywhere together. Whether it was buying clothes, or going to the movie, or taking a walk, or going shopping at the supermarket. When she was young, she would just hold one of my fingers. Her hand was too small to hold mine, and it was 2, then 3. And finally she could hold my hand. But eventually, she left my hands all together. She started crossing her arms, being independent, even though she needed constant attention.
I would say, like, when I leave, you better, take care of yourself, you know? Because I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I didn't know you before, but I dreamt about you. And I dreamt of you being dead. Is it a future fear that invaded my head? It probably is. So, I would just want you to be safe, okay? Just be safe for now, until we figure out whatever's going on.
Her memories are a part of this room. And always will be.
Yeah.
When she was a baby, she fell off that sofa and cried and cried. One day she tore up her picture book all over the floor here. Another time she drew with crayons all over the window. She painted my portrait on Mother's Day. Scratches on the floor, chipped plates, burn marks on the table, stains on the cushion. Everything you see. It all holds a memory of her, but why?
I'm sorry, Hitomi.
I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'll be going now.
I don't know what to do. Thinking about her.
Sorry.
Dante, please, you have to catch them.
She's kind of doing a good job, but it's kind of in a weird voice. So I get what's going on here, but the voice acting, her voice acting is not the best. Let's just put it like that.
Trust me.
It's kind of sad because everyone else is doing a great job and hers is then standing out. But I can tell she's doing her best with that one. Okay. Let's think. Everything linked is to Mizuki. Kinda looked like it. But they're right. Yeah, why her parents? No, but she is not the killer. She's important. She's linked to everything. Why is Renju important in all this then? Iris was there, apparently, because she knows too much. Was Renju there? Was Renju the killer? Is this why Renju started a idol group? Idol company? This is all not making any sense. Well, don't feel like going there. I don't think Marble is gonna give me anything either. I think Marble is the highway to the Kamakura. Actually, we probably need to figure out about Rohan. Let's go to Mizuki first. I think Mizuki should be there. Yeah. Mizuki's curled up on the sofa. She looked like a small animal frightened by a predator. Hey Mizuki. How do I have it? Give it to Mizuki on her birthday. That's cute. Anything interesting? Iron pipe. Oh. I guess she's protecting herself. That makes sense. Such simple clothes. Funny actually. Refrigerator. Hot. There's some seasoning and cooking equipment lying around. Yeah, there are. Entrance. I'm in a corner. Oh. Bench press. Interesting. Anyway. Mizuki. About that place. About Oda. Looks like she's not gonna talk about anything.
Mizuki must know about Iris and Ota.
Of course. The news was distributed heavily across the internet, not just in Japan, but worldwide. 3 days ago, Mizuki discovered her mother's body. 2 days ago, this morning, 2 of her best friends. It is completely understandable that she is at her mental limit.
Can I be left alone for a while?
Yeah, I guess so.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Aiba, contact Abyss. See if they can get Mizuki a good counselor.
Understood.
Stayed with her for a while, but we didn't speak. Having nothing much to say, I left. Seems fair. We needed to talk though. I think this is necessary to at least come to her home. We should go to Marble now. We need to think about Kamakura.
You know about it?
It's on every channel. You have the face of a ghost. Do you want a glass?
I don't need a drink. I need information. Do you have anything?
Well, let's see. I do have... I suppose you could call it intuition.
I can work with that. Give me it.
Tell me.
Information about the incident.
The Kumakuras are involved in this case.
Yeah, I kinda already know about that.
Remember what I told you before? That there's a relationship between Ren and the Kumakura. Shoko also has a relationship with them. You know about her dealings with the Kumakuras, right?
So basically, 2 of the victims are linked to the Kumakura. That must mean they're involved somehow, right?
Not 2. 3.
3? Iris?
No, not that one. The bull. He came here last night.
Ota?
Oh. That... Oh.
Yes, from Matsushita Diner. He's linked to the Kumakuras as well.
What? How?
Have you heard the rumor?
What? Mama told me a similar story to Aiba's. About So Sejima and the Kabasaki district. Yeah, that I know about. So what does that have to do with Oda? The basic idea is this. 8 years ago, So sold his land in the Kabasaki's district for 30 billion yen. Half a year later, an explosion at the chemical plant caused the land prices to drop drastically. So So bought back the land for 1 billion yen. Almost like he knew beforehand that the accident would happen. Did So blow it up or conspire to blow it up? No. That wouldn't make sense. So wouldn't gain anything from that. he would only end up with 29 billion in cash and 1 billion in land. I mean, isn't that a lot? It's a net zero. Oh, I guess that makes sense. If you think about it that way. It's still weird though. I mean, yeah, I think yeah, it's fair. I don't know. It's weird. But there's more to the story.
The Kumakuras own a handful of real estate companies.
Okay.
They of course look legit, but they're Yakuza fronts. I'll call those real estate companies the KE to keep it simple for you.
Komakura Estates. Got it.
The KE followed in So's footsteps. They bought up land in...
And then sold them?
Now, back to
And
So.
then bought them back? What?
Have you heard of the plans for the casino in Kabasaki?
No.
So was the one who came up with it.
I was born and raised in Kabasaki.
Okay.
I remember the landscape of my childhood, and I loved it dearly. But look at Kabasaki now. When I see images of the destruction on television, my heart aches like it's being chopped to pieces. But I promise you, I will revive the Kabasaki district at any cost. Casino Town Kabasaki will give new life to the city.
Okay.
After that, So moved fast. He submitted the bills he needed to the National Assembly after drumming up support in the right places. The bills passed, and it became an official government initiative.
Decontamination efforts therefore increased at a rapid pace in the Kabasaki district. At the moment, the area is still considered off. However, the air in Kabasaki is currently purified to such an extent that it has no negative effect on the human.
If the plan goes smoothly, land prices in Kabasaki are going to skyrocket.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Net zero doesn't make sense. He can just make it something new again with 29 million. Sorry, in hand. And with the 29 million, he can do all of those efforts.
And all that land is owned by the KE.
Okay.
And by So himself. The land he bought back for 1 billion will be worth 10 times that soon.
Yeah.
He's involved in some shady business.
Yeah. Okay.
This is just another rumor, but the chemical plant exploding was no accident. It was done intentionally.
Yeah, that would make sense.
By So and the Kumakuras, you mean?
But there's no hard evidence of that. It's just gossip. What were we talking about again?
Ota and the Kumakuras.
Oh, right. You know how Matsushita Diner is close to the Kabasaki district?
Yeah.
The chemical plant explosion made times hard. Foot traffic went down, sales declined. No wonder it closed down.
So you're saying Oda has a grudge against the Kamakura?
Ota must hold a grudge.
Oh, okay, that's what she said.
Someone caused that explosion.
Wait, Oda did? No! No, 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 no. I mean, that was set up, right? Not by Oda. 'Cause that would make sense.
And if it was intentional, oh, he'd hate them even more.
Oh, in that way you meant. I get it now.
That's how I link Ota to the Kumakuras.
Oh, it's in it. That's why you said it's an intuition kind of thing, but not really a real information. Interesting. How can you use this? Let's move. I think now we have a motive
Thank
to go.
you. Well, I don't know if what you told me will lead to anything, but...
Oh, sorry. I didn't...
No, it was very helpful.
No, yeah,
I'm glad
exactly.
I can help. Even if it's just a little.
Well then, be seeing you.
Come back anytime.
This makes complete sense now. To move on to Matsushita Diner. Because we need more information about this. What would Oda do? I think she will kill me. I think she will murder me. The place was silent. It was so quiet, I felt like I could hear the floating dust. I stepped inside. Thought it was empty, but I saw a shadow in the corner of my eye. It was Mayumi. It was like watching a decaying old tree cling pathetically to the earth. Listen, I'm sorry what happened, but... Sorry to interrupt. Do you want to talk about it? Oh god, okay. Mayumi. About Oda.
This is your fault.
It's not really my fault.
I heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris, my boy Ota got involved.
Yeah. Wait, did you just call her Iris? Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. What did you just say? No, that was very suspicious. Are you kidding me?
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now. Did you not hear me?
Hi, wakatta.
I said leave!
She still said something very suspicious there.
Date,
But we
like
have
she
to
is in
go.
no state to talk.
Yeah.
We need this. This was important information, actually. Wait. This is important information. Why is everything being still in here? That's weird. Anyway. She said Iris. She didn't say Aset. She didn't even say Tessa. She said Iris. What does that mean? Okay. I returned to the boss's office to report. But I didn't see her anywhere.
Where did she go?
Well, she isn't always here, correct?
True.
Sat down in my usual seat.
A summary of the investigation, perhaps?
What summary? We don't have anything new.
That's not true.
Huh?
I was curious, so I did some research about number 80.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's talk about it. Who is 89?
As you know, he is an assassin with multiple confirmed kills.
Did I know that?
He is currently serving a sentence at Fuchu Prison.
That makes sense.
He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
That's what Pewter told us.
What does that have to do with me?
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police.
What is his real name?
Unknown.
You don't know?
No such person is listed in the family registry. It is possible he is a foreigner, but his nationality is unknown. However, I believe it is safe to say that he was born and raised in Japan.
I think I'm an android. You know what I mean? I think his consciousness is copied to me, but the memories are removed. I think that's what's happening, and that I am 89 still. I am 89 still, sorry. The relationship between 89 and Shoko.
Unknown. I cannot determine if they have any connection. Approximately 1 month ago, Hitomi Sagan witnessed Shoko in Fuchu Prison's waiting room. I am unable to say for certain that the person she was there to visit was number 89. After all, Fuchu Prison houses 2,000 inmates.
But number 89 knew Shoko's name.
That's the...
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
That must mean that he knew her somehow.
What? Wait, was 89 sure it was going to be Rohan, but he doesn't know that Rohan is dead? I think that's what it meant.
It is possible.
How about Rohan?
Pewter claims that there were 2 culprits behind the original serial killings.
How does he know that
One
anyway?
was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
But Rohan committed suicide last year.
That leaves 1 culprit still alive.
But number 89 couldn't possibly have committed these crimes. He was in jail when each of the murders occurred.
Correct. However, I do not believe it is accurate to claim that he had nothing to do with the incident.
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
Yeah.
If he was telling
That
the
makes
truth,
sense.
his involvement is possible.
Yeah, but it still could mean that he thought that Rohan did it. Does he know about Rohan?
Let's talk to number 8.
Yeah, let's go. I don't know if he's telling the truth or if he's full of it. But he's our last remaining loose end.
Alright. However, we need not go to him. We can bring him to us. If we plan on syncing with him, it would be more efficient.
Can you arrange that?
I can.
Interesting. After cutting through some red tape, 89 was to be brought to HQ. He took considerable time to arrive, but for some reason Boss never showed up. Wait, is Boss in trouble? Wait, hold your horses. There's a person dying every few minutes. It's you. You're going to kill Hitomi, aren't you?
Sorry to interrupt your busy day.
Date remembers something from him. Why does Date remember something from him? Who is Date? What is this smug face about?
But I need you to tell me something. I'd appreciate your cooperation.
So it's not him. They don't look alike at all. The heck? What's going on here? No sense. What are you doing? Not doing anything. Yeah. Quick check. Okay, let's talk. What's your name?
Number 89.
Your real name?
I don't remember.
That's suspicious. I don't like that. Where are you from?
Burkina Faso.
Whoa! You're not Japanese.
Burkina Faso is a republic in West Africa. Population 17 million.
Yeah, what the heck?
I don't have time for your jokes.
What do you mean? Oh, that was a joke? Oh, that makes sense. He is Japanese. I didn't even consider that he could lie. That makes sense. Anyway, do you know Shoko Nadami?
Yeah, I guess I do.
About a month ago, Shoko visited Fuchu Prison. Was she there to see you?
That's right.
What did you talk about?
Nothing special.
You're in no position to lie.
I'm not lying. She didn't come to hear me talk.
Then why did she come?
To meet me.
Meet you?
That guy has a good voice.
She probably just wanted to see me.
Damn. I like your voice. I cannot copy that voice. That voice is good. When did you first meet Shoko?
Long time ago. I don't remember exactly when.
What's your relationship?
A physical one.
Oh.
I'm kidding. She was just a business partner.
Oh. Don't joke. You're the original Cyclops killer, aren't you?
That's right. I was one of the culprits behind the case 6 years ago.
You really just say that, huh?
One of the 2 Cyclops killers.
I guess it makes sense. He's already in prison. What does it matter to him? But he's trying to stop a murder.
Alright, let's get right down to it. 2 days ago, you called Investigation HQ and said, I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
That's right.
Who?
Hey, don't be so hasty. We haven't agreed on a deal. You're gonna let me out of prison, right?
It's done. You've got a deal.
All right.
Gonna kill Hitomi. 100% going to kill. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Give me a choice on this one. Damn it. I'm gonna kill Hitomi.
But to explain it properly, I need to tell you a story. It might take some time. Is that all right with you?
Lay it on me, man. I have a bad feeling about this. But let's go.
I've got nothing but time.
Then let's get started. The story of a lonely assassin. Once upon a time, there was a detective, full of righteous justice. Let's call him F. F found the evils of the world intolerable. F had no parents, no siblings, and grew up in an orphanage since he was born.
Okay.
He suffered every kind of abuse imaginable there. It led him to despise all the evils of the world.
Oh, a good old villain origin story.
One day, F was chasing a thug down at the harbor. Someone wanted for the assault and murder of women.
Okay, I get it.
Oh, and that's when he liked killing. Okay, got it.
I'll just throw down my knife. Here. And you lower your gun. It's fine. I got nothing else on me. I'll go quietly. You know, I have a history with hospitals. I've been going to a special hospital for a while. Even if I get caught, it's all good. I'll come right back out again. What should I do next time? Just thinking about it gets me excited.
You need to die. Oh, it's there. Ah, flashy lights. Ow. Right there. That's the link.
The culprit was unarmed, but F never served a day in prison. The case went to trial for some time, but it was determined to be self-defense, and he was declared innocent. If the truth got out, it would be a huge scandal for the police. People at the upper level were terrified of what might happen, so they had evidence fabricated. F wasn't suspended or disciplined at all. After a while, he returned to his job like nothing happened.
Crazy.
That was a turning point for him. He was ready to shed the morality that was weighing him down, holding him back. F still wanted justice, and he was willing to dispense it to the immoral. He became an assassin, a lone gunman. No agent, no employee. He was his own man. F believed that he was judge, jury, and executioner, but it didn't last long. One day, F got rid of a criminal we'll call X. X was responsible for defrauding and killing an innocent old man for his life insurance policy. Turns out, X had connections. Someone wasn't happy that he died. Rohan Kumakura, chairman of the Kumakuras. X was a top executive of the Kumakuras at the time. Rohan ordered his men to find and kidnap F.
I've done some research. I know you've cleaned up at least 18 pieces of scum from this earth. But somehow there hasn't been a single criminal investigation. They're all treated as suicides, accidents, or natural causes. Amazing work. I'm impressed. How about you work for us? Of course, you have the right to say no, but it'll be the last word out of your mouth.
F was trapped. Even if he somehow survived, he would be looking over his shoulder for the rest of his life. He had no choice but to take Rohan's offer.
It's a difficult situation to be in. I mean, don't kill in the first place, I guess, but I can see it kinda now.
Thus, F's self-employment came to an end.
Where does Iris come in on all this?
He became a hired gun of the Kumakuras. Rohan even gave him a code name, Falco, named for the falcon, a bird of prey. Falco didn't quit his job as a police officer, though. He worked as a detective by day, assassin by night at the will of the organization. An ordinary killer would need motive to take a life, but not Falco. He did as he was told, one target after another. It didn't take long to destroy his heart completely.
Holding the gun in a weird way. Not a real shooter stand.
Time passed, and a few years back, Falco, who by this time was exhausted in body and spirit, made a fatal mistake. He missed his mark and ended up taking a bullet to the stomach. Somehow he managed to escape. After reaching a nearby shrine, his legs finally gave out under him. He had no strength left. He put his back up against the shrine and let out a moaning breath that he thought might be his last. But at that moment, in his darkening vision,
Hitomi!
He saw a woman approach him.
Wait. Why is the system showing dreams of this couple? Why is Iris's dreams showing these two? No. Showing him. What?
He watched her take out her phone and dial for help.
Hold on. Hold on. Is this some kind of like Assassin's Creed? What's it called? That machine? Are we jumping through DNA? What the heck?
At the same time, he heard footsteps. Footsteps of at least 2 people closing in. He knew immediately that they were after him. He sprung into action, grabbing the woman and pulling her close, kissing her to keep her from talking. That was the first encounter between Falco and the woman.
You're Iris's father.
She was a teacher at some school. It was like she was from a totally different world than him. Listening to her talk, he would forget everything about his line of work.
Oh no, Hitomi was meeting with him. This is even getting crazier.
She was his only contact with the ordinary, mundane world. They met in secret a few more times, and Falco felt his heart grow warmer.
Wait, is Date a police officer that captured him?
Her smile and kindness were like a cold glass of water for Falco's parched heart. Falco started to become himself again. His former self. He swore on his life that from then on, he would live for her.
So, you want to go clean? Fine. Do as you've done a lot for us. But there is one last thing. One final job I want you to do for me. It's nothing major. This woman and her daughter. I need you to dispose of them.
Tried to kill Hitomi. Tried to kill Hitomi. What?
Should be simple, no?
Rohan handed Falco a picture of a woman and a girl. It was the teacher Falco met at the shrine. And her daughter. She had just turned 12.
Oh, Iris is not his daughter.
Why the 2 of them? Rohan, as usual, never gave
Oh, that
a
makes
reason.
sense. This is 6 years ago. Okay, got it.
And Falco had no intention of carrying out the kill. But if he didn't, he knew that someone else would. He thought long and hard. How was he going to keep them safe and get out of the life of crime? He couldn't find an answer, no matter how hard he thought. He was backed into a corner. So, he decided to call on an old friend for help. And then...
Yeah. Silence. For some reason, he wouldn't open his mouth again. What? So he's talking about me. I think. Mentions the detective.
You mentioned a detective. What's the connection between that and Shoko?
Not gonna talk.
Was that the...
It's time.
Why did you...
We're supposed to sync.
Hey, answer me.
This is a transaction, remember? Until I get a guarantee that you'll uphold your end of the bargain, I'm not telling you anything else. I'll give you half up front, half later. If you want to hear the rest of my story, you better start the release procedures. Once they've cleared, I'll tell you everything.
Date, it is unlikely that number 89 will uphold his promise, even upon release.
Pewter.
Yes?
Start the preparations.
For...
What do you think? The sink.
Yeah, it has to happen now. Boy. Oh boy. One sink a day.
I have injected number 89 with the usual dosage. He will not be waking up anytime soon. Are you ready, Agent Date?
Yeah.
The time limit is 6 minutes.
I know.
Then let's begin.
Let's begin. Here we go. Let's... If this place is gonna be a very beautiful place, I'm gonna rage. Okay. Oh no. Oh no.
Sup?
This is Tommy's place.
No, not sup. Why are you sleeping on the job?
Because I want to, obviously.
What are you guys doing?
Why are you getting mad at me?
Yeah, this rug feels so good on my skin.
Okay, let's
Why are
skip.
you set up?
Playtime's over. Let's begin.
Then stand up.
Is this the Sagan residence?
It definitely is. But why?
Number 89. What were you up to? What? The green. I do not think I can pass through it.
Really wants to hide it, huh? Okay, new plan.
Somnium scan. Activate.
Okay, telephone. I don't think these are actual links. It's just mentioning how many locks there are. Okay.
This appears to correspond to the green thing.
Okay, so searching for green stuff. Basically what the goal is. Winter iris.
A winter iris that blooms in the cold.
I know, I know.
Shit. Ready? Let's back off first. Let's...
A winter...
No, let's kind of like...
A picture.
Just a picture.
Take note of everything. Move. Shit, we gotta do that.
It isn't coming. It must be integrated in...
Like you.
No.
Like me.
No.
Shit. Too much time, and it's gonna make it worse for the next part.
A switch.
Dang it. Got over there. Okay, we can't go over there. Don't have much choices left. So...
A winter...
Shit, that's 36.
A switch.
24. Flip switch.
This
It's
switch
not gonna
again.
work.
That was then.
But there...
It's fine. It'll only hurt for a bit.
Huh. Oh, it doesn't hurt.
Okay, that
The
worked.
light has turned on. A phone. Should I pick it up?
Damn it, it's hiding what it does. Hang up.
What the? I fainted.
Damn it, that's wasted time.
You've got 5 minutes.
I know. It's a time.
It won't stop ringing.
Let's just ignore it. Aiba.
It stopped.
I don't know.
So we were just supposed to let it ring? That's kind of weird. Ignore the phone. Oh, this is a linear path. Okay.
I guess.
Kind of comforting. I mean, I lost a lot of time.
You've got 4 minutes.
Yes, I know. What is this? Liquid.
There is some.
Ooh, jump in I like. Hey, let's jump in.
Jump.
Jump in, Aiba!
You do not have to shout.
Good.
Oh, sorry.
Don't look at me like that.
I don't know why I listened to you.
You were playing a cat earlier. Don't give me that shit. And the disturbance.
A book.
Let's read it. It's not. Oh, tear it, tear it. We heard about this. Tear it up.
Yes. Are you sure this will help us uncover number 89?
It might. We're getting closer.
Okay, that was needed. Some spilled liquid.
There is some.
And no. Let's lower it and go for licking it.
Just don't make a mess.
I do not intend to. Hmm? This is wine? I had better drink some more to be sure.
Come on, Aiba.
Stop it.
You have 3 minutes, Date.
The heck? What more is there to look at? Can't look at a pot. Oh.
A winter.
Actually, yeah. Let's smell it.
It smells like a typical winter iris.
What is a typical iris?
Elegant?
Can't you just tell me what it smells like?
I had to search online for a description, but could not find one.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
We can still pick it.
A winter
Let's pick it. Let's disturb the imagery.
Huh?
You can do it.
Stop it! You're distracting me! I got one!
Oh, you actually did it. Oh.
Aw, right after I pulled it out, too.
Did the green stuff react at all?
It's ringing again. What should I do?
Oh, we can pick it up now. I think we should do that.
Alright. Who is this? What the?
Okay, we're supposed to ignore it every time. That's the whole point. Damn it.
What the?
Damn it. Damn it. Fine, fine, fine. I'll take that loss. It was dumb. Quit. This is the craziest scene. Okay.
It stopped. Aren't you curious?
I am curious, but what if they threaten me for money?
You're a police officer.
It's working out though. But I think I will have to restart soon.
I suppose we...
At least you didn't faint.
Yeah. Oh, this is over. This is over.
Date, you're out of time.
Here, please.
Agent Date, you've got 4 minutes.
Got it. Pull this.
A win...
Pick.
Huh?
You can...
I got one!
Okay.
Aw, right after I pulled it out, too.
Did the green stuff react at all?
Wait, not yet.
A picture.
Oh, and cutting this,
book?
right?
Yeah! Are you sure?
It might.
Okay.
It's ringing.
Okay, so now I can reduce it. Then. I can't skip. I can't skip. Damn it. I would love to have skipped. Oh well. Almost there. There we go.
It stopped. You're...
Hey, we need to burn the table.
I suppose...
Doing much
You
better.
have 3 minutes, Date.
A book.
We turned it. Carrot.
I wonder what these books
I don't know. Maybe he used to oversee a library?
Number 89. A librarian.
Okay. Can also now go to the pot.
It's a pot. Steam is rising from it. It appears to be some kind of green curry.
Maybe a soybean stew?
It might also be boiled green juice.
Yeah, like a slime.
A turtle ninja could leap out at any moment.
Okay, calm down. Guess heat.
It doesn't turn on. Is it broken?
See the phone over there? Call the manufacturer.
Okay. Do you think they make dream house calls?
I do not.
Yeah, that wasn't it, but it wasn't a huge loss. Try.
A pot with green.
Let's try drinking, I guess.
What is?
You can tell by tasting it.
I would like to know before I put it in my mouth.
It's
Aiba.
green, right? It's gotta be gag.
Don't say such things. I'm the one who has to drink it. Fine. I'll have a sip.
That's not a sip! What the heck?
Aiba? Hey, Aiba! Aiba!
Thank you for the delicious soup.
Wait, are you okay?
What kind of soup was it?
Elephant.
What did you say?
Elephant.
What the?
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry.
Shit. Oh shit. Oh, floor lamp.
A floor.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Kick it.
Ah!
You better come up with a more intelligent solution.
Date, these are your...
Yeah, I did that on purpose because this was the lowest amount and it was a 3 times multiplier on it. So, yeah, but I think there's more to be done here.
Floor lamp.
Think. Turn it off.
Easier said than done. I do not see a switch anywhere. Or any kind of power supply.
Really? Come on, look harder. Where's your motivation?
No.
I cannot find it.
Damn it, that's a waste. Okay.
A floor lamp.
Not the worst. Lift up. I think lift up is the best. You could kick it but not lift it up.
It is impossible.
Which is harder? That or what I've got in my pants?
Next.
Let's hit each with a hammer to test.
I withdraw.
Can I kill him?
A floor lamp.
Yes. Let's grab it this time.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this okay?
Yeah, I guess so.
Looks okay.
What is that?
Look outside.
It's an eye.
Date, what are we going to do?
I would say ignore.
Piercing stare.
Yeah, it is.
I passed out.
Less than 1 minute. Hurry!
Shit. Shit, that wasn't it.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, there's a glass in between.
You really beat the shit out of that glass.
Now I know how birds feel.
Shit, are you kidding me? Is that really all I had to do?
It left.
No, that's not celebratory.
That eye.
This is bad.
Do you know?
Yes.
You insane.
It was kind of cute. Are you serious? Oh, he told me.
What?
Hitomi?
No. Damn it, I have to do all of this again.
Date, you're out of time.
I am.
It's Hitomi.
Out of time. How do I retry? Not what I meant. Damn it. Yeah, we just gotta fail. Okay, here we go.
Well, she's hard.
Yeah, me too.
Hmm?
So...
I just had to skip that. It's done.
Date!
Shit!
Damn it, we failed! Restart, please. Okay, skip works. Okay, first off, push the switch.
A switch? But there...
Flip it.
This...
Ignore. Technically, I wasted a bit more time there. I should be more careful.
Agent Date,
Yeah.
you've got 5 minutes.
There is some...
Okay. Actually, book.
A book?
Parrot. Okay, that's done. And then this.
A winter iris.
I know.
Ticket. Okay. Now let's touch this.
You've got 4 minutes.
Grab it, right?
Looks okay.
We need to tear up the book.
A book?
No, let's just tear it up. And then drink the pot.
It's a pot.
Shit. Shit, this is the wrong order, but okay. I'll take it. How much time do I have left?
What?
Okay, we're good.
You have 3 minutes, Date.
It's hit.
Oh. I think kissing her is the best one. Can I save? Menu? I'm not sure if I can save. Can I save on a second file? Just in case.
It's Hitomi.
Let's kiss her.
What?
Kiss her.
You... Like...
You are like one of my limbs.
Yes?
Like an alter ego. An incarnation of me to kiss.
Yeah.
Then it's like me kissing Hitomi, right?
No.
You sure? Because that...
Could it just be...
Damn it, that wasn't it? Yeah, we could use the... Oh, it's a book.
A book?
You gotta tear this. Tear this thing as well.
Ugh! What is this going to...
We're driving number 89 into a corner.
By tear...
Yeah. I remember how shocked I felt when Mizuki tore up one of them.
Ah.
Poor...
That situation was...
It's just that the story she told about...
What?
Oh. Forgot I needed to collect those.
A book.
Also tear this one up. Still don't know why, but we're doing it to all of them.
A green book. That seems familiar.
I do not think there is any relation to this.
Alright. Guess it's nothing then.
You have less than 2 minutes.
A book.
Hurry.
Here I go. What happened?
Nothing.
Still think it's necessary. We're creating chaos. And that's what's necessary for her to wake up.
A picture?
Just a picture.
Fill out.
I don't have a pen.
You don't have to go.
The color has returned.
Hey, Baiba?
I said blood, but it is not the same as human blood. No need to worry. And besides, we are in a dream.
Still, I'd feel better if you used a different word.
For example,
Body fluids?
I do not feel. What?
Who's that?
What do I do?
Ignore. She pass out?
Wait.
Did everything reset? Oh. It wasn't that. Open.
No thanks. I don't want.
Look at a shot.
What?
I think we're out of time. So we have to reset. We're not out of time yet. Let's lock up. Is that all we needed to do? Oh, it's all we needed to do.
No! Stop!
Gohan shot Hitomi. But did Hitomi die?
Stop right there!
Boss? Oh. That wasn't in the dream, was it? Oh, that was close. That was Boss coming in. Boss has nothing to do with that.
Date, this is a serious matter.
Where's Boss?
Huh?
Boss, where?
I don't know.
Wait, that was in the dream
I haven't
still?
seen her since about noon.
Damn it.
Date, listen. Something happened while you were in Somnium.
Huh?
Please stay calm and listen. So Sejima's body was discovered. He was cut into pieces and put inside a vase in his mansion.
What? Why are what is this game doing?
That can't be.
The housekeeper found him and reported it to the... And one more thing. So was missing his left eye.
How do you didn't know? He was cut up in pieces.
The Cyclops killer did it?
Probably,
okay, well,
yes.
I kind of imagined a different kind of pieces. Now that I think about it, that's kind of weird. He probably was torn from limb to limb and his head just was missing the eye.
What is your next move, Date?
I don't know anymore. It's Boss? Boss knew everyone. Boss sent me away. Is it Boss? Why would Boss? Is Boss messing with me? Why was boss there? Why is he Tommy dead, but alive? Because I thought it was a future thing, but it wasn't. And also, when I found Hitomi dead, in my dream, it looked like I was looking at it like from boss's perspective. In this case, I guess Rohan's perspective, because Rohan wasn't there. I was looking at it from Rohan's perspective. How does that work? What is Somnium doing?
We'll deal with So later. Before that, I need to talk to boss.
I suggest checking her office.
Good idea.
Let's go. He isn't there.
Not here. Where is she?
He likes boy bands. Now that I think about it.
What the hell is going on? What is going on? Hitomi was shot by Rohan Kumakura to protect number 89?
There's another thing I can't figure out.
Boss. Why was boss there? Because it was a dream? Was it completely random? No, that can't be. You can't dream of a face you've never seen. Number 89 must know boss somehow.
This is a serious secret. Boss is hiding it. I have to search his room. There must be a clue somewhere. The boy band.
Look, Date.
Why are you getting
Damn it. I was gonna remove it. Thought maybe there was something behind it.
Maybe if you get a high score.
Do you really think this isn't an escape room?
Guess so. What else could it be? A key? What is the key for?
I got it. This must be the key.
Good work, Date.
Okay. I was just looking at the key, okay? My chair? The heck? Okay, the computer. I guess the computer was the most obvious choice.
Iva, can you hack this PC?
I will try.
Iva, you're so ugly.
Unlocked. Logging
you.
in. I have recovered some video data. It was
Okay.
uploaded only a few hours ago.
What?
Open it.
That is...
Sosajima. Why? Why?
Boss.
Boss?
Is she a victim? A surviving victim? This is a bad end? Unsolved. The real culprit, the incident 6 years ago, and that is past. The story's branching point are insomnia. Use the flowchart to jump to a branching point in a Somnium. It may be hidden somewhere in the dream world. Find a new way forward. We need more information. What? This is exactly like Zero Escape. Oh my god, there's so much game still left.